So, Mark, would you stay at here?
Put
you on the spot right now.
Yes, I would, actually, for a while.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
I would just take a lot more unpaid vacation.
Right. It's like, look, I'm leaving. What are you going to do about it?
I'm going on a 2-week vacation.
Yeah, and so when I get back, I may or may not work. We'll see what happens. And don't give me any of the business because I'm going to do what I got to do. Can I make a personal point?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And you can appreciate this. I get a lot of calls and emails on various suits. This is a 3-button suit. I often get people who write thinking they're informing me that you shouldn't button the bottom button of a 3-button suit. Totally get that. I'm aware of that fashion faux pas, let's say, but I do it anyway for a very specific reason. I have 2 mic packs on and an IFB pack, and if I don't button all 3, I look like I'm going to fly away.
Okay.
Is that okay?
All right. Good? Are you done? Are you good?
I am now done. Let's move on to the weather. I get 2 to 3 a week, so I thought I'd make that point. And I'll make it again at 4:30, just to make it clear. All right, here's a look at what's going on. We don't have much today, especially when you compare it to what we had happening yesterday at this point, but a couple clouds out there, and for the most part, things are relatively quiet. There's a tight shot of a couple of clouds in Taos. It's an interesting perspective, I thought. And you could see the clouds building and virtually, there we go. All right, I knew it eventually ended up straightening itself out. We do have some storms across the northern mountains, out into the northeast, but definitely spottier activity today than where we were, say, over the past few days. San Miguel County and across southwestern New Mexico, Grant County, Sierra counties also seeing flood advisories at this point. But as you can tell, the crop of storms has gone down significantly. So we still have some off the east slopes of the northern mountains, over the northern mountains themselves, and over our southern mountains, whether it be the Gila Wilderness or over into the Sacramento Mountains here. But there is more dry air across the state. So don't think that we're going to end up with the crop of storms we've had recently. It's just not going to happen. 85 degrees here in the city. Winds are variable 5 miles an hour. Where we had some rain, places like Las Vegas, it's cool at 66 degrees, 80 in Tucumcari, 90 Roswell, 91 out in Carlsbad. Looking at satellite and radar, you can see it already developing here, that drier air punching its way in. And as it does, we still have some storms, and that will be the case over the next couple of days. We'll occasionally get some storms from time to time. It's not like we're going to completely dry out, because we will sneak some moisture under the ridge of high pressure that's headed in our direction. But for the most part here, it's going to be much more of a miss than a hit for the storms across the state here over the next 4 to 5 days before it looks like we start to crank up the moisture again by the middle of next week. And part of the reason is high pressure coming in. And this time of year, when we bank a high over the state here, we'll call it the evil high in this case, because it pushes our temperatures up. It pushes the moisture down. So the moisture that we've had in place over the past week or so starts to leave us, and as we get that high overhead, you get the descending, drying air that tends to heat things up, and we end up with very warm temperatures. In fact, as we get into Sunday and Monday of this next week, we will be far warmer across the area here temperature-wise. As you can see, high 90s, triple-digit heat will be a real possibility over a wide area of the state. And in fact, you can see that developing on all the 7-day forecasts. So across southern Colorado, mostly sunny skies early. If we're going to see a thunderstorm, it'll be over mountain sections tomorrow with a high of 88 in Durango. Northwest, partly cloudy, mild conditions here. Slight chance at a shower by Sunday. Better chances by the middle of next week. Meanwhile, across the southwest, sun and clouds, some spot storms. Not much, though, as far as widespread storms in places like Deming, Socorro, and Alamogordo. Should be a little quieter. Over to the southeast, partly sunny. An isolated storm. Now, a lot of you may think that's not the way you spell isolated. It's actually an Apple thing. It's an iOS thing that we're doing, and we're respelling isolated. I'll get into details on that in our next half hour, too. 81 in Roy, 83 in Raton, and 82 in Las Vegas. Scattered rain showers over to the northern mountains. Scattered storms here as well. But again, nothing too widespread. Shouldn't be a huge deal. We don't anticipate flooding issues unless you're in a burn scar area. 88 in Harris. Isolated storms possible. And into the metro, we could see an isolated shower. But for the most part here, it looks pretty good with temperatures in the low 90s. We do warm, though, into the high 90s by about Tuesday, with the chance of showers by late next week.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark.